back, everybody, to another episode of V-Time, episode 107. We got a decent episode for you tonight. Following, or this morning, depending on when you're watching this, in all honesty. Following our special video of TDH Reacts. That was honestly a passion project. We had so much fun recording that, editing, and all that, so hopefully you guys liked it.
Yes.
And if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It's a very wholesome video, apparently.
Very wholesome, especially from what the comments say.
But with that out of the way, let's go straight into the leaks. Sorry. But before that, if you're interested in buying any cards from TCG Player, please use our affiliate link down below.
Your purchases through this link help support the channel so we can bring more great videos like this straight to you guys.
I didn't mention this in the video, but thank you to TCG Player for providing us with the product to do the TDH React.
Thank you very much.
And shout out to Zach. All right, now let's actually go to leaks. Starting us off with, oh shit.
Yeah.
So they officially dropped them on the cards of the day, so we're just going to cover them real quick. We got the encounter cards of Dragonic Overlord. You can see them there, the nice faded border, grayish, whatever it is.
Stone-ish kind of border.
Yep, and the other one.
The Phantom Blaster Dragon.
Yep. Honestly, not that big a fan of the arts. The arts look nice. The Overlord one looks honestly good. The Phantom Blaster Dragon one, though, it looks not that nice.
They could have tried harder.
I mean, we already gave our opinion on the encounter cards. Of them specifically being chosen as Dragonic Overlord, Phantom Blaster, and all the nostalgia.
Yeah.
Now, when the effect comes out, now that's going to be a different story. We might change our tune.
We do have a little bit more tidbit of information, though.
Which is?
That these are now the triple rares.
Oh, I mean, we already knew that. Like,
Yes.
we saw the big cards in the...
And we also know that Phantom Blaster Dragon's coming. Or not,
Blaster Dark
Blaster
and
Dark,
Hallam
yes.
are rares in the set.
Yes, that. Blaster Dark is going to be in the set.
Yes. We already covered that, remember? Last week time.
Yes.
Anyway, the only actual tidbit extra to this is the fact that both of these do take up triple rare slots. So out of the 10 triple rares in Boost Set 2, these are going to be 2 of them. And they're more than likely going to do 2 per nation again, which means these take the spots of Cater and Dragon Empire, which, in all honesty, we can a little bit speculate that Hexor and Eugene are going to get shafted in the triple rare spot. Yeah. Now, it could be Bastion triple rare that gets shafted, or it could be Overdress. Well, probably not Overdress, since the cover card is a version of very end.
Yeah, we've seen the arts from the booster, or the poster, and basically we saw that, every one of the start decks are getting another triple rare.
Yeah. So it's a very good... No, Eugene's definitely getting shafted, and Hexorb is a good bet.
Yes.
But we'll see what kind of double rare support and everything. It's too early to say if they really do, but that's how it's looking right now. So let's start moving on and look at some actual leaks from Booster Set 2 of honestly really good cards. And we're going to do all favor and cover nation that we play. So Alice, take it away.
All right. Fairy Blighted Love. Auto rearguard, when they attack this unit boosted hits a Vanguard cost. Bind this unit, choose an order card from your bind zone and add it to your hand. It's really good.
I mean, it's really good. It has to hit.
Yeah, but it's on hit pressure.
Exactly. So if it hits, it just means oof.
Yes, and most of the time your opponent normally lets the rearguards hit anyways because there's more than likely a lot of crits in that build. So they're gonna guard the Vanguard.
I would know.
Yes. So there's a good chance it'll hit. Probably not, but better than you think.
So overall, just a good rare.
Yes. Next one is a Roaring
Pistol.
Lengia? We're going to go with that. Continuous Guard Circle. If you have a total of 3 or more order cards in your drop zone and bind zone, this unit gets shield +5.
So it's a 10k shield. I mean, honestly, 10k shields are not bad. Don't get me wrong. 10k shields are sometimes very necessary.
Yes.
But finding a space for it is always kind of hard.
Yeah, and it's already weird in the deck because you want to have a balance of orders and units that you can use, and you do want shield. Don't get me wrong, because having a lot of orders in the deck is, no
yeah,
shield.
You're basically Bastion, but with orders.
But at the same time, it's like you want units that can do more than just shield.
Correct. Okay. Moving on. We got some Cater Sanctuary. I'm going to cover these. So we got Hexor Support. First off, we got Knight of Subtlety, a wine.
I think I'm not the only one today that's struggling with names.
Hey, I almost messed up on Salty.
I know.
But no, it is a wine. Anyway, his effect is auto when this unit is placed on rearguard if your Vanguard is Hexor Sorceress. Cost Soul Blast 1, look at 2 cards on the top of your deck, choose up to 2 cards from among them, put them on the top of your deck in any order, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. And then its other ability is auto rearguard. When your drive check reveals a trigger unit, you may counterblast 1, or technically just cost counterblast 1. This unit gets 10k until the end of turn. So if you have extra CB and you rip a trigger, he's basically an extra 10, and you can put Hexor's effect so you can gain 20. Like, there's a lot of power going on for that extra CB. But the first effect's honestly the one you're going to be running him for.
Yeah, because most of the time when you use Hexor Ride Line or any of the other effects, it's always you have to put one on the bottom or one in the soul. You never see both, like leave them on top or put them on the bottom.
And now you get to look at 2, and then you can either place both on top, one on bottom, or both on bottom.
Yes. And then, fun note is the second ability is not once per turn.
No.
So,
but, CB is still, a resource that you're going to need.
I mean, if you go rear guard, Vanguard, rear guard, you can just pump.
You're not wrong. Overall, it's not a bad card. It's honestly really good for a rare. I will mention, though, this is probably going to be ran more than I think. Just for the simple fact that when you go into Hexor for the first time, you get the whole look at top 3.
Yes.
When you go into Hexor a second time to get the Persona Ride ability and all that,
yes,
you don't have many options to look. So if you use this and see the over trigger, it's like, oh yes, please, let's do this shit. So overall, a really good card. And then the other card that got revealed with it is Knight of Heavenly Thundering, Letty. Act, rearguard cost, Soul Blast 2, and this unit, and until the end of turn, the power increase of trigger effects revealed by your drive check gets plus 5k. So it's basically the Magus build from Diera.
Yes.
Honestly, not going to be ran in my opinion, because there's one inherent power already in Hexorb that Hexorb is already struggling with, and it is Soul Management. And Soul Blast 2 is a very hefty cost for little benefit.
Yeah. You can trigger this multiple times if you have the soul, but you're probably never going to have the soul.
Unless they introduce some sort of soul charge engine, Facade's going to be very necessary in this deck, and maybe even the grade 3 that goes to soul to give something 10k.
But when you are getting triple drive and possibly quadruple drive...
I mean, the extra power is nice, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like, you can use that soul for other effects, like look at top 2 and stack.
Yes.
So overall, it's an interesting tech card. Some people may run it. I personally wouldn't.
I think we're probably going to get more soul charging in this set for the simple fact that we're seeing a lot of cards in Hexorb that Soul Blast.
I feel like that's necessary. I feel like they're making Hexorb and even Bastion, for that matter, in a way where they're not going to give you a lot of soul charge, so you can't do all your abilities, so you're forced to pick and choose what you want to play, what you want to run, and what you want to use.
Fair.
It's not that back in the day, Vanguard, where I'm going to do all the effects so I can pay all the costs and do all the effects again.
True.
Like, now it's actually limited, and now it's forcing people to actually think and go, all right, I can pay the cost for these, or I can save the resources and pay this later and do this. I like that aspect. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of V, we got introduced to some promos during the live stream. I'm going to cover this, you cover the other one. So, the V promos are as follow. We got one for Gold Paladin, Knight of Treasured Bow, Vitrinus. Continuous. Back row rearguard. If 2 or more rearguards were called by your card ability this turn, so unite, this unit gets boost and 5k, making it a 14k booster. Its other ability is auto when this unit is put on Guardian Circle other than from rearguard. Costs Soul Blast 1, and until the end of that battle, when this unit would be retired, you may move it to an open back row rearguard instead. So basically, it just keeps coming back. Like, instead of, you guard with it, and instead of losing it, you can Soul Blast 1 to guarantee yourself a unit on board. Or at least a booster in this case.
This is actually fun in premium. Because if you have the one Gargawith that allows you to intercept from back row and stuff like that, you call it, it dies, it goes to back row, and then you...
Other than from rearguard.
I mean, you can still intercept from back row, you just won't get the extra skill.
Other than from rearguard.
You won't get the skill the second time, but you can still intercept from back row and still get 2 guards from
one.
I
see what you're saying now. Yes, agreed.
Yes.
Yeah. Overall, not a bad card. This one, though, in V Premium and even in Premium maybe, but mostly in V Premium Big Belly, this is amazing.
Oh, yes. This is a Veteran Janitor Stick Up. Auto rear guard. At the end of your turn, cost Soul Blast 1 and retire all of your rear guards in the same column as this unit. If you retire 2 units, choose one of your Vanguards, search your deck for up to 1 card, the same card name as that unit, reveal it, put it to your hand shelf of your deck. Big Belly. I'm going to sack 2 plus 2 and get it to grade 3 and plus another. So
for 1 card and units that are more likely going to die in Big Belly, you get 3 cards back.
Yeah.
This is just a good card, and it gets you your Big Belly. Which means you can get another Excel, pay the grade 3 costs of having something in Soul. Like, overall, this is just a really good card. Enough said.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we move on to a promo for Diera for Brentgate. We have Flash, Scissors, Monster, Scissors, Bar.
We went from Dragon to Scissors.
I was going to steal that joke from Vanguard Insider, but I feel like you already did, so there we go. Nothing's original in this community.
Nope.
Anyway, the effect is auto rigor when this unit attacks. If you have a set order in your order zone, Soul Blast 1, this unit gets 5k until the end of that battle. Not bad as a 15k attacker. Orfist might not use it because you want your soul for other swings, but granted, once you get to Abyssal Dark Knight, you're not using your soul for anything else, so maybe. And then a soul is a very important resource inside of jail, which can very easily deplete, so I don't know if you... It's a decent card, but...
Problem is you're getting +5 for a Soul Blast for one turn, and... for that one attack. And you have other cards and other builds that just get 5k inherently without you having to really use a resource.
I will say this. I'm glad the promos are going back to being promos. They're kind of all right. They're not shit, but they're not super amazing and necessary to be put in a deck to make the deck good.
Exactly. Keep it up.
Anyway, now the big good. The stream
good.
happened for Diera when we saw the Zorga support we mentioned last week. And Alice, how good is it?
Good.
All right, let's see him.
All right. Regurgitation from the Underworld.
That name, though.
Play this with cost Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Choose one of any player's rear guards and retire it. Choose up to one card with the same grade as that card from your drop zone and call it to rear guard. During the turn this card is Alchemagic, you may choose 2 cards instead of 1 from your drop zone.
Ow. So Ikea finally has a form of removal.
So I'm going to pop 1. If it's Alchemagic, I'm going to split Pegasus my drop zone.
You're not wrong. I mean, it's overall just a good card.
Exactly.
And it's a grade 3, which means, granted, thankfully you can't use it early, but hey.
It's really good.
But what about the triple rare?
Man, I just want to say this ahead of time. That order should have been the triple rare.
No. This triple rare honestly has been proven itself more than the order, even just with the first effect.
All right. So we got Rogue Headhunter. Continuous rear guard. If you played an order this turn, it gets power +5, make it a 13. Auto, when this unit is placed on rear guard, the next time you would Alchemagic and order and play it this turn, reduce the cost by Counterblast 1. It reduces also the total cost after you Alchemagic not
Yeah, so you can't countercharge with this thing. Don't be creative.
Yes, and if you do not countercharge, you get negative. But yeah, overall, it's like, cool. I'm going to use this Soul Blast 2 and then use this new order, the Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. I'm going to sack the grade 2 that says I don't have to pay Soul Blast cost and then call this down and I'm going to Alchemagic for free. Here, look, 4 cards on the board.
You're not wrong. And yes, I honestly do think this is necessary. This is a better triple rare spot than the other one. Because the other one, you only get the full benefit if you can Alchemagic, which is not hard, but at the same time, you got to have a different order in drop and pay the cost for that one and,
Fair.
This, though, it not only reduces the cost for 1, 2, 3? Oh, 2. 2 different orders right now that you primarily run, right? But it also becomes a fucking 13 either attacker or booster. That number matters. Oh, God, I was on the receiving end of it. That number makes a difference.
And also, this is going to scale better down the road whenever Stoichea gets more normal orders and more options to Alchemagic.
The more CB effects you get inside of your orders, the better this card gets.
Exactly. So, overall, 10 out of 10.
Exactly. Anyway, we're going to move on past the stream into orders for me now. For Bruce, oh boy, this is only a rare order, and it's honestly, I'd argue, on the same level as your shit.
I love how they're giving these start deck seasons ridiculously good orders.
I know, right? Okay, so we saw the order for Bastion, and it was ridiculously good and it was rare. Now we're going to see the order for Dark States, Bruce, and it's Hellblast Full Dive. Look at that art. That is fucking beautiful. I love how over the top it is, but the effect is even better. Play this with cost Counterblast 1, which is not a resource that you use a lot. Draw a card, choose a card from your hand, and call it the rear guard. Then, if you're in Final Rush, all your front row units get power +10 until the end of turn. Oh, this is so good. So, you have that order in hand. You ditch it, so you -1. But you draw a card and call a card. So you basically played a card from your hand to the board, that order. And then if you're in Final Rush, you're bumping everything. So if you just a normal Colossus is already 38, a Persona Ride Colossus is now 48, swinging at you twice in the face. This is fucking amazing. Because this fixed the problem of, I didn't Persona Ride and I'm in Final Rush. Well, my pokes, I got pokes. This fixes the problem. I don't have pokes no more.
You know what else this is really good with? Say you Persona Red this turn, right? You had the guy that when you restand it gets a crit, and you have the guy from the Festival Collection on the other side.
Oh, yeah. Cannabis 1, Soul Blast 1, bump him by 10.
And then
bump him by 10.
Persona
bump him
Rad,
by 10.
Persona Rad, bump it by 10.
45 with an on-hit, restand 45 with an on-hit, and 2 crit. Hell fuck yeah. I'm just loving... This order's just good, and it's definitely going to be ran, so we're going to do a video of it really soon. The other card that got revealed with it is not, honestly, as good, but it's an interesting effect nonetheless. We got Steam Engineer Pepili. Auto Rearguard, when this unit boosts a Rearguard, if you Persona Road this turn... Hold up, something happened in Lost. There we go. If you Persona Road this turn, cost Cannabis 1, Soul Blast 1, and your opponent cannot call grade 1 or greater cards from their hand to Guardian Circle until the end of that battle. Now, this effect, honestly, at first when I read it, wasn't that impressed. But now that I'm rereading it, I'm realizing what era we're in.
Yeah, this is a really good card.
Yeah, we're no longer in the draw PG era where this makes no sense anymore.
No.
We're back in the grade 1 PG era where this basically says no PGs.
So you know that combo we were talking about earlier with the guy that gets the crit? The time you swing with them with the crit and you boost it by this, it's cool. Now this is double critical, really big number, and you can't PG it.
So, change my opinion. Still hard to find space for it. It's a hefty cost, but it's a very interesting card. Imagine boosting a Bruce or... I know this was leaked with a Bruce card, but put this behind Barrow Magnus.
Oh, it has to boost a rear guard.
Damn it!
Don't try to break it.
Fine, put it behind a Colossus that has a crit on it because of drive checks. I don't know. Honestly, overall, a decent card.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on. Another order rare that's, my opinion, not as good as the other two.
So this is for Dragon Empire. It's Horn of Blessing. Play this with cost, discard a card with Overdress and his ability from your hand. Draw 2 cards. I mean, there's moments when you're playing Overdress where you're just flooded with a bunch of like the OG Variana and you have Arcus and you're like, cool, well, I have Arcus and I have this. I really don't need this card in my hand. Well, what if I wanted more of the Valiente? Well, I can use this order, discard it, draw 2 more cards, either get more shield or get more pieces I need.
See, I've seen so many arguments from our groups and people saying why this card is good. And I do agree in those aspects. This card, honestly, really quick translated to anybody that plays Magic, is basically Cycle 2. The biggest problem I got with this is, one, a bias problem. I've never been a fan of Cycle, just personal. But the other problem I have with this card is the fact of the matter stands that this replaced some cards in your deck that could have been, helpful in that situation more than this. Not to mention, you're ditching a card with Overdress, probably the Variana from the start deck, if we're all honest.
Yes.
And this card to draw 2 more. While you can draw into correct pieces, you can also draw into triggers. And while triggers are shield, they're also triggers out of your deck now.
Yes.
Overall, I feel like there's better slots. If you put this in, I can take this out and put better cards in its place that when I draw into it, I'd have more value than this card.
At the same time, I also see where this is good because, like, if you're on grade 3, right, and you only got the 1 Trickstar from the ride line, you really want digging for another Trickstar. I would happily sacrifice this and an Overdress to dig for another Trickstar.
But hey, you can run instead of running this, you can run the grade 2 that says on place Cannabis 1, grab a Trickstar from drop.
Yeah, but if you don't have that Trickstar in drop,
like I said, overall, I see the good merit of this card. We're honestly gonna test it out.
Yes.
I feel like we need to test it out the next video we get a chance to. And we'll see how it goes. But personally, complete bias, I don't like it. I don't like cycle effects, period.
I like it for the simple fact that not only does it help you fix your pieces, but think of it as a -1 card in your deck.
Still,
so instead of running like
you're running a smaller ratio, which means you're gonna see more of the pieces that you want to see.
Exactly.
I completely get that. But in a game like Vanguard with triggers, I don't want to draw my triggers. I want to drive check my triggers. Imagine doing this effect and you draw the over trigger.
I mean, at least you got shield.
You're not wrong, but at the same time, it's like, like I said, it's personal. And then the other card that got leaked with it after all that.
Yes.
Blaze Fist. Oh, yeah, that's you.
Blaze Fist Monk Eaton. Auto rearguard. When this unit attack boost hits, cost Soul Blast 1 and retire this unit. Choose one of your units and it gets +10. I mean,
it has to hit. It's a resource. It kills itself and gets something 10k.
This is good in Eugene for the simple fact that Eugene doesn't get really much power. Granted,
yeah, but do you really want to keep wasting cards? You barely retain cards in Eugene.
You're not wrong, but at the same time, like, it does give you power that you're missing if you really need it.
You're not wrong.
And it has to hit, which is kind of...
All right, can we now cover another rare order? Because apparently we're covering only rare orders this week. That is fucking amazing. Again.
These all could have easily been double rare or higher.
Again, bias on the Dragon Empire one.
Yes.
But I agree with this one. So, we got the Brentgate or triple rare, it's a double rare. We got the Brentgate rare grade 2 order.
Jesus
Moment of arrest, Aurora Bell Princess 24 hours coverage.
Man, I'm gonna interested to see how that fits in the text box when we see the real thing.
I'm gonna hate putting this on a proxy. Anyway, as you probably imagine, it does imprison. Oh boy, how it imprisons. Pay this would cost Soul Blast 1, which is a good resource. If your opponent's hand has 4 more cards, your opponent chooses a card from his or her hand and imprisons it in your prison. Then, if 3 or more of your opponent's cards are imprisoned in your prison, you choose one of your units and it gets 5k until the end of turn. Not only does it fix the problem of your opponent not giving you shit to imprison, but it also gives your units power, which was very much lacking sometimes. Overall, this I'm playing either at a 3 or a 4 fucking of.
Yeah, and also this is really good for the simple fact that if your opponent leaves only 2 in there, or 1 or 2 in there, it forces your opponent to think, well, I should probably pull this completely out because they now have more ways of hitting my hand instead of my board.
Not to mention, like there is a double-sided thing to hit this card. One, you are technically could be helping your opponent in the sense of they could probably play something that they want to then call out and activate the on-place ability and stuff like that. So there's those risks. But overall, if you really think about it, you're taking an extra card out of your opponent's hand, depending on the game state, and you are basically using a card from your hand, so you're both going -1 in hand. But depending on the game state, taking a card out of their hand could mean extra shield that they could have used to live that turn.
Yes.
This honestly is almost on the level of Nubatama stupid hitting your hand, but just tame enough to be still alright.
Yes.
Because you can only play one of these a turn.
I think a rare is a good rating for this. Just for the simple fact that your opponent can still have it.
Just imagine the double rare and triple rare if this is a rare.
God, I know. Like that's the sad part about this. Like we're reading all these orders, right? And these orders sound amazing. These are all just rares.
Watch the comment. This is probably one of the best comments I've seen yet. Aurora Bell Princess Mel Horizon. It's a grade 3. Auto rearguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, can a +1 choose one of your opponent's rearguards and imprison in your prison, and this unit gets 5k until the end of turn. It's a simple, straightforward 1CB imprison something 18k attacker. It's nothing amazing. We got more than enough imprison cards now in the deck, and some of them are definitely better than this. But the fact of the matter stands is, it's another card that imprisons, and it's an 18k attacker.
It's power, and the deck needs power.
Overall, it's fucking good.
Yeah.
Like this honestly just might replace the grade 3 Soul Blast 1 imprison something 2k. Because yes, that's an act ability, but this is on attack.
And you have so many other cards that are now soul blasting that you can free up some counterblast slots.
Yeah, it opens up very good, interesting avenues of deck building. Anyway, surprisingly, that's been it for the leaks.
Yep.
We rant a little bit more than usual because Token Rambu has really...
And yes, to note, we are not covered.
No. The full set of Token Rambu has officially been released. I think the wiki's been updated. If not, hopefully they're updated soon. But regardless, if you want to see anything that we didn't cover, go check them out. There's comments and all those. There's way too many to cover in a normal video, so we're not even going to touch them.
Exactly.
So, with that being said, if you're interested in getting any of the cards we just mentioned, go check out Triple Sleeve TCG.
They got great deals on singles, clan splits, and even cases, so go check out the website.
Link in the description. So, two bits of news. One, the official English site for lore has been updated, so you can now go check out the lore on the English site and not just have to translate from Moonspeak on the Japanese site, which is a nice little tidbit.
Yes.
But outside of that, there's really not been many news inside the Vanguard community. We already covered the product stream and all that. The encounter cards are still a mystery to us, and hopefully we're going to find out about them soon. Ah, yes, I forgot about this. Next week's stream is going to be including the new heal trigger effects for V-Clan Selection Volumes 1 and 2, as well as a new effect introduction for Booster Set 2, which we predict is either going to be one of the ride lines or the encounter cards themselves.
I think it's probably going to be the encounter cards themselves because encounters have a fancy border. There ain't no reason why they put a fancy border unless it meant something.
Correct. So overall, we'll see what happens next week. But yes, that's been mostly this week, not much news. So the other bit, before we end this episode, I want to mention for anybody that's sticking to this. Let's see here. This video, if everything goes correctly, dropped at 10 a.m. Anybody that's watching right now. Regardless, later tonight or right now or yesterday or whenever you're watching this, of the day of dropping this video, we're also going to be doing a case opening live stream. So go check that out. There's going to be link to the description, edit video, something. We're going to do a live stream. So come hang out.
Yes.
That's all I wanted to say. Other than that, you got anything else you want to add?
At this moment, as of today of recording, set 1 has officially dropped.
Correct.
For those of you who are having troubles getting your start decks, yes, please support your local game stores, but also at the same time, do not go online and pay scalping prices.
Correct.
There are people out there that are selling start decks for about $20 a piece. They're $4 retail, man. Come on.
They're $4 retail. Some stores will sell you $4. Most stores will not sell you $4 because they want to make a little bit of profit back.
Exactly.
So if a store sells it somewhere between 5, 6, maybe even 7, that's fine. Yes. Anything above $10 for a start deck, I think they're going a little bit overboard.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're paying more than twice the price of what it is. And it's like...
Correct. So try to find somewhere online that people are selling from the correct price. If your local store is selling it for a decent price, go there. Just be careful. There's easier ways to buy the start decks than paying $16 to $20 per deck.
Also, same goes for the booster packs because on Amazon, I think right now, some people are selling them for $6 or $7 a booster pack. It should only be like $3 or $4 a booster pack. Like, yes, your game stores will also do this. Like ours, I think is going for like $5 a pack, which is reasonable. But don't go out and pay like $8 or $9 a booster pack.
So yeah, with that PSA announcement out of the way, we're going to end this episode here. Thank you everybody so much for watching. This was episode 107 of V-Time. If you like the video, please leave a like, share with your friends. Comment down below what you think the encounter card effect is going to be.
Yes.
Other than that, if you like what we do here, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell to get notified. Maybe even follow us on Facebook, join our Discord, and come watch us on Twitch.
Yes.
But with that, I've been Phil.
And this is Alex.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
Woo! We'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. Ready?
Nope. How's this?
All right. Ready?
Testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's going.
Yep.
So 107, I think.
Yep.
All right, ready?
Yep.